Alrighty, trying my hand at this. I'm going to do an unboxing of a couple of new components I bought. Most important being the motherboard. And I also bought a new processor to go with it. This is the 2011 series socket by Intel. This is also the Sabertooth motherboard. Very popular motherboard in higher end gaming. I wouldn't say the highest end. You might see something like server boards where you're really going over the top. But it's definitely an expensive and very capable board. Let's first talk about this, since this is a little less flashy, at least on the surface. This is the i7 processor by Intel again. The 2011 socket's running at a stock 3.6 gigahertz per second on 4 cores. It has hyper-threading enabled, so that would give you 8 logical cores, 4 physical. We can see right here, here are the specs. 10 megabyte cache, I believe that's the level 3 cache. Level 2 being that high might be a little intense. It is running at 130 watts, so quite a power hog, but you know, you are going to get a lot of performance. You may notice the box is rather thin. They don't actually include heat sinks or fans with the higher end processors because, well, they'd have to include one hell of a fan for you to keep it cool. As you can tell, it's running, you know, at 130 watts. So I do have my own custom fan I've been using for a while. Custom as in third party, not actually that I made it. All right, it does have support for that boost technology, so you can get up to 3.8 with its boost. It doesn't have the same kind of overclock ability as some of the K series processors in the i7 area or the i5s. And you know what? That's fine. This is, you know, running at 3.6 stock, and I don't really care to overclock this too heavily anyways. Doing that, you know, I'd run into problems elsewhere on my board, like my graphics card would not be able to keep up. The Sabertooth, though, should be able to keep up with data transfer rates just fine that this thing can request. So, like, all the bus speed should be great. I don't think I'd have an issue there. It would definitely be other portions of the board, or the chip. Now, this is the Sabertooth. It's been around for a while on the X79 chipset, one of the more recent ones. Very good, very high-end. They do use the TUF certified parts. Those are a 5-year warranty as opposed to most other components with motherboards you get are about 3 years. You're also getting the, probably not in shot anymore, the thermal armor here. That's just extra protection against dust, as well as an easier way to cool the components, as it is going to be running quite a bit faster next to your MOSFETs and everything up in the power regulation area. As you can see, here's the TUF certified junk. And you can find most of this elsewhere, but a couple more key points. They do have this caching to improve hard disk speeds. By attaching a smaller SSD, you can use it as caching space for your hard drive and actually increase performance quite a bit. Get quite a bit of performance out of a lower cost solution. Lower cost for your other components. This board's obviously pretty expensive. 3.0, easy BIOS flashback, just use the port on the back and the button. That's about it. As we get into it, you'll notice all the different slots and whatever else it's capable of as far as components. So static shielding, a full bunch of cables. Here's a little fan for part of the thermal armor setup. Looks like a couple of, oh wow. We gave you 4 of the SATA 3 or 6 gigabit per second speed cables, as well as 2 more SATA 2. Stack shield, SLI. Oh, look at that. Look at that sticker. Yeah, it's just one solid sticker. It's a little wrinkly. What do you expect? Shipped. Easier to plug in your headers for your front panel stuff. That way you don't have to worry about it getting in there. Oh, short installation, as well as a big user guide and a couple of smaller bits, certificate talking about the reliability of the board, of course. Oh, as it says up there. That's probably pretty easy to see. I don't think there's anything else underneath. Set that off to the side for now. And it'll probably still be in the shot. So we'll do something like this, and then the back of the board can be viewed while we are busy looking at the other parts. Alrighty, so here we are, the board itself. I'm going to try and snake it out. Looks like these are holding it in. And here we are. Here's a look at the board itself. As you can see, these stickers are covering it up, but there are actually 8 DIMM slots for quad channel setup. They chose this to run with the i7's capabilities of that, so they could actually run quad channel efficiently, as there are 4 cores. But here is the your Southbridge area with all of your data storage. So here's SSD caching. These two can be used regularly or with the SSD caching, which is what I talked about earlier. These two right over here are the 6.0 ports. They're useful for the faster speeds, and then the regular SATA 2s here at 3 gigabits per second. So it's total 8 ports you can use there. Not too bad. Some boards you'll see with 10 or more, but I don't think that was their main concern, was storage space, or at least how many SATA peripherals you could connect. So there's that. 24-pin standard. I believe this is the USB 3. 8-pin for your CPU, which makes sense because you're going to be running the 2011 series, and I think they're all 130 watts maybe? At least this one is, so I'm definitely going to need it. VRM stuff. 3 PCI Express. This one's colored differently, so I assume on 8X these two are probably running at 16 at the same time. 1X physicals, and then the PCI Legacy, which is nice because I do have a serial card I'll be putting on there, because working with switches I like having serial connected directly rather than a USB one. Here's the back plate. Some more of this thermal alarm stuff. This is right where you would actually place in the fan, the attachable fan that we had in there. And I'm not going to bother digging out. So here's your USB 3s, so you got 4 of those total. Here's the flashback for the BIOS with the button. eSATA, I don't believe that's powered, doesn't look like it at least. A couple more SATA 2, or USB 2, 3 more of those. This 4th one can be used for that, but it's also for the BIOS flashback. Firewire port, or 1394, whatever you want to call it. And then gigabit Ethernet, 7.1 channel support. Little sticker covering up some heat spreaders. Yeah, it's just pointing you over to where the mouse goes. Mouse and keyboard connectors are, because you do have this combo PS/2 port. Yeah, whatever, I'll leave it there. Digital audio out, so. Oh, right, and then this one I totally ignored. This is just a combo port. This is probably powered since it's hooked up to USB as well. So I think you'll get a powered SATA as well out of that. Alrighty. I failed to mention the thermal hour on this one as well with its own little fan. This one's not detachable. This one that you can place right in here if you unscrew it can. Socket, and that should be about it for this board. As far as like major specifications, such as all the bus speeds, I do not know offhand. But that was a look at this board and its processor I'm going to be using with it, just as an inside look. I'm not going to bother opening it up. Everybody knows what processor looks like. It's a square chunk of metal. If you want to, you can see it right there. Alright, well, thank you. Bye.